Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Modi chairs Economic Advisory Council meeting, reviews growth strategies amid Iran war risks. India-US trade deal phase 1 likely by mid-July, says Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. And 15-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi joins T20 squad, breaks Sachin Tendulkar's record. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a meeting with members of the PM Economic Advisory Council on Saturday. The Prime Minister and the Economic Advisory Council discussed various ideas and measures to further boost India's economic growth in times of global turmoil. Various reforms to improve ease of living and ease of doing business were also discussed. The members gave their assessment of the impact of the West Asia conflict on India and the world. A day after India and the US trade officials concluded negotiations, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal on Friday said that India and the US will sign the first tranche of the bilateral trade deal by mid-July. The Commerce and Industry Ministry on Thursday had said that a delegation from the Office of the United States Trade Representative, led by the chief negotiator, visited India from 1st to 4th June to advance discussions on the trade agreement. On February 7, India and the US issued a joint statement finalizing the framework of the first phase of the bilateral trade agreement with 18% additional import duty on all Indian exports. But it was kept on hold after the US Supreme Court threw out the reciprocal tariffs, terming them illegal. Oil India Limited has discovered the presence of natural gas in the Andaman Sea. It marked a significant development in India's offshore energy exploration efforts and boosts hopes of unlocking new hydrocarbon reserves. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said on X that the latest discovery was made at the Vijayapuram 3 exploratory well, located 15 kilometers off the eastern coast of the Andaman Islands. Minister Puri described it as another positive development in India's efforts to strengthen domestic energy security through increased exploration in offshore basins. The latest discovery marks the second successful gas-bearing well drilled by Oil India Limited in the block, following the natural gas find at Vijayapuram 2 in September 2025. The discovery comes under the government's Samudra Manthan mission, also known as the National Deep Water Exploration Mission, which was announced by Prime Minister Modi in his 2025 Independence Day address. Culture and Tourism Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat on Saturday said India's solar power capacity has witnessed a remarkable rise, increasing from 2.8 gigawatts to 155 gigawatts over the last 12 years. In a social media post, the minister said more than 4 million households across the country are now being powered by solar energy. He said Indian farmers are no longer only food producers but are also emerging as energy generators, contributing to the nation's clean energy transition. Highlighting the government's renewable energy vision, Minister said efforts are underway to make every India's rooftop solar powered, and India is moving rapidly towards achieving its target of 500 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has praised India's growing influence in the technology sector. President Putin described India as one of Russia's key strategic partners and a leading force in information technology.
A key partner of ours is India, which is one of the leading players in the IT industry. It accounts for a significant share of the global software market. Another key partner of ours is India, which is one of the leading players in the IT industry. It accounts for a significant share of the global software market.
In other news, India has once again slammed Pakistan, delivering a key statement at the UN General Assembly plenary on annual report of the Security Council. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Parvataneni Harish, reiterated that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India and condemned Pakistan's false narratives.
The unwarranted reference by Pakistan to a matter strictly internal to India, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, has compelled me to respond. Pakistan has decided not to spare this forum either from their characteristic misuse of august UN platforms for their divisive political interests. Abuse of its presence on the Security Council by Pakistan, including through the circulation of several misinformed and misleading communications, also testifies to this counterproductive approach. I'd like to remind Pakistan that being a member of the UN Security Council is a huge responsibility. It's not a forum for peddling biased and false narratives. I'd like to make it loud and clear. Jammu and Kashmir was, is, and will always remain an integral and inalienable part of India. Any assertions to the contrary are baseless, devoid of, and inconsistent with historical facts. Empty rhetoric and hollow claims by Pakistan would not change this fundamental reality. In the interest of time or the wider UN membership, I would not delve any further into this.
The Central Board of Secondary Education has extended the deadline for submission of applications for verification of marks and re-evaluation till Sunday midnight, giving students time to complete the process. The board announced the decision via social media, saying that the extension has been granted in the interest of students who needed additional time beyond the earlier deadline. CBSE clarified that it is a student-centric move which is aimed at ensuring that all eligible candidates can complete the application process without undue pressure. Now, over the last 12 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governance has significantly reshaped India's developmental trajectory with paradigm shift from a leaky to targeted welfare system. As the NDA government completes 12 years at the centre, the Modi era has been defined by a paradigm shift from a patronage-based leaky welfare system to one that is targeted, transparent and technology-driven. Experts find its core elements worth noting: streamlining and digitizing delivery through direct benefit transfer, Aadhaar and JAM Trinity, scaling eligibility outreach and central budgeting for flagship schemes. A report on PM Modi's economic vision.
From the time Prime Minister Modi rose to prominence as the Chief Minister of Gujarat in the early 2000s, his affinity for promoting business and entrepreneurship was well known. During his tenure as Gujarat Chief Minister, the state's economy grew at a faster pace than the national economy for more than a decade. A research paper titled The Economic Mind of Narendra Modi by historian Hindol Sen Gupta, published for the Observer Research Foundation (ORF) on October 1, 2019, highlighted Prime Minister Narendra Modi's firm belief in an economic model that combines free market reforms with large-scale welfare programs. Examples of pro-market reforms undertaken under Prime Minister Modi's leadership over the last 12 years include introduction of goods and services tax, bringing in the insolvency and bankruptcy code, corporate tax cuts, promotion of startups and encouraging private business investment. At the same time, the government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced and expanded key welfare schemes like Swachh Bharat toilets, Ujjwala LPG connections, PM Yojana rural and urban, free ration under PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, PM Suraksha Bima Yojana and PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, and Ayushman Bharat PM Jan Arogya Yojana. The figures illustrate the impact of these schemes. Over 57 crore bank accounts had been opened under the Jan Dhan Yojana by February 2026, greatly deepening financial inclusion across the country. More than 1 crore homes have been built, of which over 98 lakh houses have been distributed across the country under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. That's not all. Over 80 crore people are receiving food grains free of cost under the PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana.
We are a very stable economy, very stable force that our economy and our policies are. And also I must mention that to the world, we have as an engine of growth served for nearly 6 years now. This recognition of the country, and during this whole journey before COVID, after COVID, we have had the Prime Minister at the helm of affairs. He has led it from the front. All these policies that I am talking about, the policies that we need to be proud of, which have provided stability, both monetary and fiscal stability and financial sector stability, have been led by this government.
During his 12 years in office so far, Prime Minister Modi has striven to improve the efficiency of the government machinery through the wider application of modern technology. A key example of such efforts, popularly called the JAM Trinity, includes Jan Dhan, Aadhaar-based identification for direct benefit transfers, mobiles for UPI digital payments. This digital governance initiative is a prime example of how a leaky welfare state model dramatically cut down middlemen and corruption and enormously improved efficiency of direct transfer of welfare benefits.
So the beautiful thing we've been able to do is the DPI through UPI. It is extraordinary. It's something which is even the most advanced countries don't have that. Our digital services are extremely optimized in cost. I mean, it's a wonder what we've been able to do with data services. They are so shockingly economical that any citizen in the country with just $2 or $3 worth of data, 200 rupees, can consume a lot of data. So that part is very well taken care of. Penetration is also excellent. Most parts of the country has very good penetration.
Despite the ongoing global shocks from the West Asia crisis and the Ukraine conflict, India has managed to keep its economic growth remarkably on track even in globally troubled times. But the West faces a different outlook. Once referred to as the gold standard for welfare, the US, the UK and most European countries are currently facing mounting economic difficulties.
So far, what has been the rule? Whatever happens in advanced countries, we have to follow that. Now what is the rule? Whatever is happening in our country, they can also follow it. And not only that, Latin America, Africa, those countries have clear policy now that they can follow from us. The matter of pride for every Indian, every policy maker in India, and also a matter of pride for the Prime Minister. So as a country, I think we are making our presence felt on the global market.
Among Prime Minister Narendra Modi's many economic triumphs so far has been his successful efforts to revive, strengthen and expand the Indian welfare state and make it an engine of more inclusive economic growth. Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
And still to come on DD India Live. The US approves $2 billion arms sale to Kuwait. And Pragyananda creates history, becomes first Indian to win Norway chess.
We have one other neighbor, Pakistan, and there the response is very, is this doesn't apply because, when somebody practices cross-border terrorism as the central feature of the policy towards us, that, you have to also ensure there are consequences, that it is not something which will be cost-free. So when you are comparing eras, I think the one thing this country is very clear on, nobody wants to see again what happened at 26/11. That 26/11 was cost-free. That should never happen again.
There is something in Jharkhand for everyone. Welcome to a feast of experiences for your body and soul.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The release of frozen Iranian funds has become a key issue in negotiations between Tehran and Washington, D.C., aimed at ending their war, a senior Iranian official has said. Iran has been subject to asset freezes and sweeping sanctions by the United States and other Western countries since its 1979 Islamic Revolution that toppled the US-backed Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. In an interview broadcast to a leading international English channel, the CNN, on Friday, Mohsen Rezai, a former commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and an advisor to Iran's supreme leader, said the talks were failing over the release of Iranian assets. While there is no official figure for the total amount of frozen Iranian assets, media reports have estimated the sum at between $100 billion and $123 billion. Iran has conditioned an agreement to end the war on several demands, including the release of the frozen funds. In what could be touted as renewed Iran-US confrontation, the Gulf countries of Bahrain and Kuwait were targeted in renewed aerial attacks by Iran early Saturday after the United States said it had struck the Islamic Republic with its U.S. Central Command shooting down Iranian attack drones that were launched towards the Strait of Hormuz and also struck Iranian radar sites. CENTCOM in a statement said that U.S. forces intercepted multiple Iranian ballistic missiles and drones launched by Iran toward the Strait of Hormuz and Gulf neighbors. Stepping up fresh offensive, Iran fired 7 ballistic missiles towards Kuwait and Bahrain hours after U.S. Central Command shot down 4 Iranian one-way attack drones that were launched towards the Strait of Hormuz. The attack drones posed an immediate threat to regional maritime traffic. U.S. forces subsequently struck Iranian coastal surveillance radar sites in Guruk and on Qeshm Island to defend against further maritime attacks. Initial assessments indicate 6 of the missiles launched by Iran were intercepted and a 7th did not reach its intended target. The statement said the U.S. forces remain vigilant and postured to continue responding to unwarranted Iranian aggression in self-defense. CENTCOM said there are currently no reports of harm to U.S. personnel, and Iranian claims of damaging U.S. 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain are false. Earlier, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said on Saturday that they hit enemy bases in the Gulf after U.S. forces said they struck radar sites in Iran. On Saturday, the island kingdom of Bahrain, which hosts the headquarters of the U.S. 5th Fleet, denounced the latest attacks against its territory and Kuwait. Manama described the attacks, the second against both nations in 3 days, as blatant aggression and a flagrant violation of the sovereignty of both countries. U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran still retains around 21 to 22% of its missile arsenal. In an interview to NBC News on Friday, President Trump said the U.S. had totally destroyed Iran's military capabilities, including much of its missile and drone production networks. The estimate is higher than the 18% figure President Trump cited in May. The US president also claimed that American strikes have devastated much of Tehran's military infrastructure during the ongoing conflict. The United States announced on Friday that its approval of a $1.98 billion arms sale to Kuwait. The U.S. State Department in a statement said it would allow purchases of counter-drone technology from defense company Anduril. The statement said the proposed sale will support the foreign policy and national security objectives of the United States by improving the security of a major non-NATO ally that has been an important force for political stability and economic progress in West Asia. An Israeli strike on a military vehicle on the Khardali-Nabatea road in South Lebanon killed 3 Lebanese soldiers, including an officer, on Saturday, days after Lebanese and Israeli envoys announced a conditional truce following talks in Washington, D.C. The Lebanese army condemned the attack as a barbaric raid, while the Israeli military said the vehicle was moving suspiciously in an active combat zone, maintaining that it operates against Hezbollah and not the Lebanese army. Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun denounced the strike as a flagrant violation of Lebanese sovereignty, even as Israel renewed evacuation orders for 5 villages in Lebanon's south and east, ordering residents to move north of the Zaharani River. The Consulate General of India in Seattle, U.S. on Friday hosted the 2nd edition of Mango Magic promotion and tasting event of Indian mangoes. More than 100 leading importers of Indian fruits, including senior leadership of the U.S. retail giants like Costco, participated in the event. They also relished the opportunity to taste 7 premium varieties of Indian mangoes on display, including Alfonso and Kesar from Maharashtra, Banganapalle and Himayat from Andhra Pradesh, Langra and the famed Dasheri from Uttar Pradesh, and Ripe Rajapuri from Gujarat. The Mango Magic event further amplified the potential of regional mango varieties from India and the potential for exports. Indian Mango Promotion event also featured a special luncheon with dishes of Indian cuisine made using the 7 varieties of Indian mangoes on display. The Youth for Viksit Bharat My Bharat Youth Convention was held at Tyagaraja Sports Complex in New Delhi on Saturday, bringing together over 6,000 young participants from diverse backgrounds, including students, entrepreneurs, content creators, innovators, and emerging leaders. Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports Dr. Mansukh Mandavia and Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta addressed the convention, which showcased the transformative role of youth in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation by 2047. Eminent personalities including MLA and singer Maithili Thakur, actor Vikrant Massey, entrepreneur Aman Gupta and cricketer Jitesh Sharma interacted with MY Bharat NSS volunteers, encouraging young people to pursue excellence and contribute meaningfully to national development. In his address, Minister Mandavia underscored that India's youth constitute the nation's greatest strength, and the convention aimed at creating more inspiring youth stories.
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में देश बदल रहा है, देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, नया भारत का निर्माण हो रहा है। विकसित भारत के राह पर जब देश चल पड़े हैं, तब आज देश के यूथ आइकॉन ने मोदी जी से प्रेरणा लेके अपना व्यक्तिगत जीवन कैसे बदला, अपना स्वयं का और देश का गौरव कैसे बढ़ाया, ये बात असंख्य युवा साथी के सामने, माय भारत के वॉलंटियर के सामने रखी।
In sports news, India thrashed hosts Japan 4-1 in the men's under-18 Asia Cup final, claiming their 3rd tournament title in Kamagihara City on Saturday. Ashish Purthy starred with a hat-trick for the champions, while skipper Ketan Kushwaha added a goal, overcoming a lone strike from Japan's Gaku Numada. India had secured their place in the final after defeating Pakistan 5-3 in the semi-final. Earlier in the day, the Indian women's team clinched bronze after beating South Korea 3-0. Prime Minister Modi has congratulated both men's and women's hockey teams after their remarkable run at the Under-18 Asia Cup in Japan. He said on X, and I quote him here, A splendid accomplishment by our young hockey players. Congratulations to the Indian men's under-18 hockey team on winning the men's under-18 Asia Cup 2026. The team displayed exceptional skill and teamwork throughout the tournament, culminating in a memorable victory in the final. This triumph also reflects hockey's growing popularity among our youth. My best wishes to the team for their future endeavours. And also, congratulations to the Indian women's under-18 hockey team on securing the bronze medal at the under-18 Asia Cup 2026. The team displayed remarkable grit throughout the tournament. This feat reflects the growing strength of women's hockey in India and the immense potential of our players. Wishing the team the very best for their upcoming endeavours, unquote. Batter Shreyas Iyer took over the captaincy from Surya Kumar Yadav of India's T20 international squad on Saturday, and batting sensation Vaibhav Suryavanshi was named in the squad for the twin tour of Ireland and England. At 15 years and 71 days, Suryavanshi becomes the youngest ever player to feature in an Indian team, surpassing the long-standing record held by Sachin Tendulkar. Grandmaster R. Pragyananda made history on Friday as he became the first Indian to win the Norway chess title. The 20-year-old chess star beat Germany's Vincent Kemmer to conclude his campaign on a memorable note. With his win, the Chennai-born star achieved something that even Indian legend Vishwanathan Anand and current world champion D. Gokesh had not managed since the tournament began in 2013. And with that, that's a wrap. You can get the latest news on our mobile app on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code when you can to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.